Yeah, so we showed up and we knew when we left the PI that we were going to be attached to the 81st Attack Fighter Squadron, which is the same squadron that Spike was in. And we were told we'd be attached to those guys. So that's all we knew going in. So when we showed up, you know, got off the plane in Bahrain, and first thing you see is these two tornadoes sitting on the ramp, just chewed to hell. They'd been probably some of the jets that flown over Kuwait in the early, for first couple of days, torn up, and that was like, oh, this is great. But they bussed us down to the base, and as soon as we got our bags off, there was a rep from the 81st grabbed us, said, "Hey, you guys come with us." And I walked in, met the ops officer, and and he's like, "Hey, welcome aboard." And he showed us, just started walking us through some stuff. And at the end of our conversation, he goes, "And by the way, we've been thinking about this." He goes, "Look, I know you guys are pack-half weasels, you're night weasels, and also you've got your own squadron standards of how you weasel, because every squadron was a little different. Not we had a we had a baseline within the community, and then every squadron was just a little different, flavor-wise." He said, "So we're going to give you at least one AOR fam ride with our flight leads or instructors. So each of you will fly on the wing of one of my guys for at least the first night. He's trying to give you I didn't call it a milk run, but a Kuwait run kind of thing. We'll put you on a Kuwait line, and you guys can go up and get your local area, they call it local area fam." He goes, "I can't get you a day sortie. Your first landing here will be at night." He goes, "But I'm pretty sure you're fine with it." And he goes, but then once we've done that, we're going to put you back together as a flight, and you're gonna take taskings right off the scheduling board, but we're always going to pair you together with yourselves, so you can use your own squadron standards. I know you guys have already been trained together. I'm not going to bust you up and cause problems there. We're going to keep you guys united as an element, and that was probably one of the smartest things I've ever seen. And it was a leadership stroke of brilliance, because we were a little concerned that we might have to learn some new stuff right away, which can maybe cause confusion. As soon as he told us that, they called us E flight, Echo flight, because you usually have, at least in the Air Force, you have ABCD flights in a flying squadron. We were Echo flight, E flight, but we asked to be called the PEF, the Philippine Expeditionary Force, um, because during our trip there to the AOR, we were stuck in Diego Garcia. That was a stopover. We were stuck in Diego for like 24 or 30 hours, something like that, like a little over a day, because they couldn't get diplomatic clearance to go into some of the countries yet. So we're stuck there. Well, what do you do when you're on an island with B-52 bombers, nothing to do, and you're amped up? You drink. So we drank, went to the club and drank, and then we wound up wandering into the British base exchange, or PX, or wherever they call it. I don't know what they call it, but it was the British exchange there. And no kidding, walked in, looked at all the kind of cool stuff there, and in this big, like open cage looking thing, like you put dogs or pets in for a store, was just stacked with pith helmets, British pith helmets. I'm making this up, and I can send you a picture later of one of our guys wearing it. Someone did take a picture of all of us with them on. I've never seen it. I mean, never seen it developed, but we kind of took on that whole, hey, this is cool. And then we, because of the alcohol, I believe part of it, we became the Philippine Expeditionary Force, not unlike British Expeditionary Forces of back in the day. So we should, um, yeah, we bought them. We bought hats and we all wore them. Matter of fact, we bought them. Everybody bought one. And we took the rank off of our blue flight caps and pounded it into it so it was there. And then we walked out of the exchange wearing them. So now this is a bomber. This is British are there, but there's Air Force bombers there, a lot of bomber people there, and there was going to be some hell to pay for that until they found out we were wild weasels going to the theater, and then no one cared that we wore. We probably could have gone to the club with just a jock strap on and been okay, because once they knew we were weasels, we drank free, which was nice of those guys, and also the leadership just kind of let us. They see your patches, see your helmet, and go, that's out of regs. Go, yes, sir, we know. And you go, all right, and walk off. And so they were cool about it. Well, that's how we became the Philippine Expeditionary Force. Now back to when meeting the DO, our team lead, Major Mick Elam, great American. Mick just said, "Hey, instead of A flight, make us PEF flight. We'll be PEF. Just put that on the board for PEF." And that's kind of how that kind of played out. And there, I sent you a patch and some other things, from that we came up with. It'll say on the bottom of the patch, "Last in, first out," because we were the last weasel to show up in theater. We were told when we were deployed there, we'd be there for 6 to 9 months. Um, we brought all of our gear to be there for a long time, MWR pallets, everything. And then when President Bush said, if it's not nailed down or attached to a piece of equipment, get it out of theater now, when the war was over, they go, well, these guys aren't assigned to these jets, so get them out of here. So we're like, no, wait, we're supposed to stay. And they're like, no, you're leaving. So our patch says last in, first out, because we were like 48 hours later on an airplane flying back to Manila. They wanted us out of theater now. We were shocked. I mean, we were absolutely shocked. And we were also well hated within the community for a while. We just showed up for the war, killed some stuff, and then went home immediately, and the war was over. And we were like, oh, we were going to stay. No, we did not.